Morning, everybody.
Okay, that's live. And then we can try. Hey, man. Morning, Warner. I'm trying to get the I think the Instagram side going for me here and see how that works.
Sweet.
First
If
run,
you're
first run for Joemazon.
absolutely, if you're watching the stream on the replay, this is my friend Joe. He is Amazon seller, does all kinds of things business related. He's launching a new show, so I wanted to be his episode 1. So go ahead and check out Joe's YouTube. Check out his Instagram, whatever. He's gonna be just like hanging out, having conversations with people, like not as much like structured, just like just hanging out, talking as friends in business, right? Not necessarily like rattling off
Yeah,
a bunch of Q&A. So if you want a little maybe like slower paced conversation, just like seeing what's up in your business, all that kind of stuff, go check out check out his stuff.
yeah, man. Appreciate it. Good to see you. That's so you kind of nailed it, right? I just was hoping to create a forum that just about anybody, no matter where they're at in their business, what level they're at, could jump on and have conversations. And we can talk about some topics. We can talk about our the highs and the lows, absolutely, right? So there's been frequent trips and times I've been on where we all end up getting together, like at a diner or the hotel lobby, and just so much comes out of those just casual, informal conversations. So I was trying to figure out the best way we could bring that out to other folks. We know there's a lot of folks looking for their, still looking to join, different groups, different networks. So maybe this will be a great way for people to
For sure.
talk and get into know things. So,
Joe wants to take some guests and stuff on his future streams as well. So make sure
yeah,
you're in the ecosystem. What's up, Jonathan? Good morning,
yeah.
man. So yeah, I guess Joe, how's business been for you, man?
It's been good. We're a little bit slower in January than I personally would like, but we're working on a couple projects. So that's good. So working on a
There you
working
go.
on a
Any projects you can talk about, or are they all still in the
yeah,
works?
of course. Now you know me. I talk. So yeah, we're working. Well, the brand we've been working on for a little while. So we're working directly with a brand. We're working with fixing years worth of bad listings. And the brand was not involved in their e-commerce front at all. So
Gotcha.
we're starting from ground zero, kind of rebuilding. I think they're, it's a lot of work.
Were they just like flooded with like generic listings and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, different sellers have added listings over time. The brand had no clue what was going on. So we've got an exclusive with them, and we're now putting together A+ content. We're working on, advertising, trying to clean up the listings. There was no variations. So it's a lot of work. It is not easy by no means. So we've partnered up with a team of experts. So that helps, but and there's an offset with cost with that, of course. But that's the plan for now with them. And then we did launch a new brand with no backing or with no background behind it. That was interesting.
So there's like no sales on Amazon?
No sales.
Interesting. What did you like? What were you like looking at to know if it was going to be like worth checking out or not?
I was supposed to do that. Yeah, no. It is,
you got a whole lot of fidget spinners. You got nothing to do with them now?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, someone. Oh, okay. You're at. I'm just looking at the chat here. Yeah.
Morning,
yeah. It's a crapshoot, really. No, we did look at the market as a whole. We took a kind of an idea of with a category. It's a candy. It's a candy from overseas, and it just looked good to me. We, if you want to talk about too, I know some people want to know like how did you find the brand, stuff like that. We can get into that, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that's what we'll like. Just kind of naturally answer everybody's questions through everything, right? So yeah, like how are you even coming across a brand that is like not on Amazon?
Yeah,
like, did you just notice it was selling well in different countries or something?
Yeah, so this one is crazy. This was an ASD visit from 2 ASDs ago where it started for myself. I met the actual brand owner that was from overseas, and they were Bill Flipper. Where does comment
What's
go?
up, Bill?
I didn't see it.
I don't think there was a comment.
Okay. Yeah, we met the gentleman that was looking to import at the time, and due to my full-time career, we don't import.
Right.
So for me, it was a no-go. Love the product lines the guy had, love what he had to say, but we had to pass. This past ASD, they were there again, still in the same situation, and a friend of ours actually, I'll be honest, it was Steven's mom was there, right? And she got talking to him this time around and had some great conversations with him. And they now got an importer. They're looking to do some stuff. So that's kind of how it all trickled down. So 2 ASDs ago ends up, coming into something.
Oh yeah. How much follow up is that? Because everyone in wholesale is like, oh, I'm just gonna talk to a brand, and the day I talk to the brand, I'll get rich. Like, so how much follow up are you doing for those suppliers?
Yeah, no, right. There's definitely a delay. Hey, Sadiq, I see we got some people over on Instagram too, so I wanted to say hi real quick. Sadiq. Sadiq, why don't you come join us, man? Let us know. We should get you in here. Melinda too, and hello to everybody else on the other side here. I know Brian's on. I want to say hi to FBA Brian, by the way. So FBA Brian has been helping motivate me as well as you have too, Warner. But he's really right now truly behind the scenes, the guy helping put all this together for us.
Oh yeah.
And I wanted to say thank you to him. Unfortunately, Brian is traveling for work in a hotel. Yep, little cutout there. Brian's in a hotel, sick as a dog, and so he can't join us today. It's a bummer because he helped put it all together. So,
yep.
So we're started. Really,
we're gonna keep chopping it up on all that.
Oh, we lose you?
I think we definitely got a delay. But let us know what your guys' biggest Amazon roadblock is right now. Because Joe and I have probably been there before, so we want to kind of target that a little bit.
Yeah.
Joe's on dial-up today, I think.
We back? Are we back?
I'm with you, Joe.
That's weird. I tested this for an hour the other night without an issue. You're back? All right. Thank you. We got Garrett over on the on IG. Can you hear me now too?
Yep.
Yeah, this is weird.
Are we caught up? I think we're caught up.
All right. Yeah. I don't know where it cut out though.
Biggest roadblock is laziness. I mean, that's a very fair one. How are you getting over the lazies there, Joe?
Well, I'm not lazy. That's the problem with me in a way, right? It's probably why I'm going to the doctor on Monday to get my blood pressure checked. Yeah, I don't think there's you can't be lazy with this business. I think you can be better organized, right? That helps it go smoother, which I'm probably not the most organized, that's for sure. But yeah, you can't be lazy. You got to do stuff, right? In fact, I've pushed this cast off now 2 or 3 weeks, not because of laziness.
I forced you to. I was on a call. I was like, you got to do it. You gotta. Yeah, I mean, like with laziness, like it's the you could have been a fish, right? Like you could have been a fish. You could have been like doing nothing. So take advantage of the privilege you have of all that kind of stuff. Like don't let that go to waste.
Yeah, we probably would have pushed another week if you weren't like, yes, you're doing it Sunday, right? And I go, well, I'm hoping to. And you're like, no, you're doing it Sunday, right? So that helped us. Hey, George, my daughter Emerson's on the other side here. Paulo's in. Paulo just sent a message. He was going to join us this morning as well, but he can't make it. I think he takes care of his youngest baby one on Sunday morning. So he's kind of tied up, I believe. But
I mean, that's true wealth, right? Is the when you can throw away time to spend with friends and family. That's what's actually wealthy right there.
Yeah, and laziness though is right. Go back to that. It's just you can't be lazy. You've got to just take action and do the best you can, but without quitting, right? Especially in this business, because we all get hit with these curveballs, right? You don't know it's going to be. I heard everybody flipping out. This is everybody flipping out this week. I think was it Clinique that went restricted. Everybody's all,
Yeah,
oh my god, the world's not falling, right?
but
The world's
there's
too
a brand
peaceful.
like that
It
every
just sucks.
year. Every year, yeah.
Yeah,
They pick a
right.
brand
That's
and
right.
it's just
Yeah,
like, oh, you can't sell it anymore, and then everyone's like, oh, the sky's
yeah,
falling, and you got to move on.
yeah, yeah. And I get it, right? I don't mean to belittle that, right? Because
No, for
it's
sure,
just
yeah. People are losing some money, yeah.
yeah, no, it sucks, but we can get through it, right? Section 3 is like, oh my god, and I've gotten,
Right.
you panic, you get through, and that's where I think like having, hopefully we build something like this up where we can really get it very interactive, but being in, part of the private groups or your friend groups, Discords, Zoom meets, whatever you're doing, really helps out a lot because you get in there and you realize, first of all, you're not the only one that got the letter. You're not the only
Yeah.
one that got restricted on Clinique. And then you find out how many of your friends were selling the same thing you were selling. That's kind of fun too. But you really realize that this is a revolving door here in this business of goods and bads and ups and downs, and there's going to be changes. There's going to be changes every week, and I think I just saw a comment yesterday or so. I'm trying to see who it was. It was like the new fees. They're starting to see the new low inventory fees pop up, right?
Yeah.
And they're saving money. They're like, holy crap, we're
Oh,
actually,
really?
yeah, it was, I'm trying to, I don't know if it was Dylan or I can't remember who made a comment. Like right now, their inventory counts are good. So they're seeing the reduction of fees. They got an alert, then it was like, wow, this might end up being okay for certain. So
Interesting.
what's Billy's? I'm 4 subscriptions away from 1K on YouTube. That's awesome. 4. I think we could probably get him 4 here in this group. Right here.
Yeah, no, it's
he
like
says you
it's
don't
like that
understand
every
what
time.
dial-up is like. Yeah, yeah.
It's like that every time we lose a brand, like all that kind of stuff, like new fees come around. Like that's why it's so important to always be like exploring new things. Like for the sellers who are watching this, like I was like this. I'm sure Joe, you were like this, where like 85% of your business is one brand. It's like, man, if I lose this brand, like I'm back on the street, like whatever it is. So just make sure you're setting aside time to source things you suck at, or at least just like go where you typically don't. What's a little bit uncomfortable, 30 minutes, an hour a week, like because eventually that might be your backup plan. And a lot of times it has been. You got that one site you're going crazy on, or that one supplier, they cut you off, or they start canceling, whatever it is, and because you were doing prep work, it's like, oh, I already got a backup, basically.
And it sucks too because you put so much time and effort in, and then you get to that point where it's cut, and that's where having a good team, and I'm still building, that by far. But even, not necessarily when I say a team, like having folks from overseas, right, or whatever. It's just partnering up with a buddy or a friend and kind of knocking stuff out together, right? And then and we're doing that now. My buddy Brian and I do a ton of stuff. I mean, we talk every day about products and sourcing new distributors or wholesalers or stuff. So we got some people chatting here. I want to catch up on some of those.
Jonathan had a good one that you can probably add a lot to what Jonathan was saying there. He's saying he's lazy with Amazon because he's tired of working his 9 to 5. Like you can definitely relate to that, Joe. So like, what are some things you're doing to like balance that?
Yeah. So, well, I'm horrible at it. Let's be honest. I'm not great at balancing it. Balancing is tough. I'm putting forth a better effort in 24 than I did last year. And so he said, I'd love to be more specific. I'm lazy. Amazon said, yeah, white 5, which is funny. Yeah. And you know what? Most of us, I don't know how long you've been doing your 9 to 5, but for me, I've been doing mine for years. And I still really enjoy that job. So, and I have to separate the two, right? I can't be on my phone during the middle of the day or when I'm working. So it's really all in the evenings. And I think I'm a control freak too. So outsourcing help and teaming up and working with others, letting go of some more things, especially, that first couple times you let things go, maybe say to a virtual team member overseas and it doesn't get done the way you wanted.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll just do it. You got to stop and maybe take the extra few minutes and.
Yeah, it's getting used to the fact that you can hire someone to do like 80% of the job or 90%, but no one's going to care as much as you do.
Right.
That's a big one.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
What else?
Also, Joe, just for the people watching who maybe don't know like your background and stuff, like can you give us a quick like how much you selling on Amazon? Like, you're mostly wholesale, right? So just like brief intro, just so people know you're legit.
Yeah.
Like, how long you been in business?
Yeah. No. So I'm not legit. I'm not. I'm just the average Joe. Um, ebbs and flows. We've gone from $70,000 months to $20,000 months in in a month or two, and then back up again. The story, if anyone really wants to know, started just a couple of years ago in a Q, heavy into a Q4, end of November. It started and just flipped some RA stuff. That's how it all started with one of my daughters. It was kind of something for her during COVID, and then thought it was the easiest thing in the world just because I got lucky in the beginning with a couple little items. Right, we're talking 10 items, 20 items. I don't know if that was an FBA.
Is that a sale? Is that a sale on something?
Yeah, yeah, that's funny.
Bro's got his notifications on noises.
Yeah. Well, I have just a few items that are FBM that we want to get rid of, so I leave it on now, so I know when they go through.
Gotcha.
So we went into 2022 really, and we kicked it up pretty good. Got involved with you and Miles and Garrett, and got involved in the groups, the FBA Roadmap, got involved in school, got involved in, I did a bunch of just immersion into different lives and just that stuff. But we started doing all right. We kicked it up to 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand a month, pretty, those steps. Wasn't shooting, the moon down in one day, but definitely growing to the point where when I started this was literally out of the basement here at my house, and started out of the house and started to realize what a true business it is. And I'll be honest, probably for the first 3 months I didn't respect it. I just thought this was something fun. And as it started to grow,
your brain's not going to believe that you can do what you can actually do on Amazon until you see it. Like, you've met Sawyer. Like at this point, like if somebody walked up to you and said, "Hey, you see this kid? He's 18. He's done like 7 million on Amazon." You're like, "No, that's a lie."
Yeah. And he's like the nicest, just chill dude you'll ever meet. And there's a guy right there. What a great example of just what good work ethics put in. And it's just, he's got a great story. I mean, and I invited a friend of ours in for this week or next week. Her name's Tracy. She goes as 7-figure granny. She's been doing this for years. So we were all in Jersey together, and I literally made a way I got 7-figure granny Tracy, who's been in this business for a long time. She's got more knowledge than most of us all put together with Sawyer, right? So we got the young and the not the older, but the experience. We put the two. I think I want them both on together one day to chat, right? To see how I think
a future episode of Coffee and Commerce. There, you gotta tune in to the 18-year-old and the grandma hanging out together.
Yeah. I think that would be awesome. Like that would be that's what I really want to talk about. But let's grab some comments here. Let's see.
Sure.
I'm new at this. Everyone, remember our first show, so what do we got here?
Yeah, I saw Jen had a comment there that we can probably talk on. Just talking about sourcing is the biggest struggle. It'll eventually click for you. Haven't given up yet. That's probably 80% of you guys watching the video is how do I source more products? Which at the end of the day, that's the only thing you have to do on Amazon, so it makes sense. Like, is you can put some labels on things. No one's asking how do I put labels on things. Well, sometimes they are, but I can talk on that a little bit. Jen, it took a while for things to click for me. I definitely didn't have the amount of resources that are out there, and myself and lots of other people have tried to create. But I gave up after my first month of OA just because I couldn't figure it out. I was doing tactical arbitrage, all that kind of random stuff that just does not work. I was trying to do it from China when I was abroad, and I was like, all right, this is not going to happen. And I didn't give it a second try until I came back and I started talking to other people. Like Joe and I are always stressing the importance of talking to people. And then, we were doing 10 to 20K a month with OA, which is great. A lot of people would want that, right? But that's not really the goal. It wasn't really the goal. and then talking to people is what got me out of that rut of being able to find things here and there, but never been able to like really scale. When you tell someone almost everything they're probably going to do the same. So as long as you pick the right kind of people, like that's the biggest thing that can do it for you.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that you got to keep going at it, and there's going to be that day, that moment, and where it just clicks and it works, and then it's like, wow, why did for me? I'm like, why did it take so long to get to that point where finding a product?
Do you remember like one of those like light bulb moments with your like?
Yeah, I do. For OA, I definitely kind of remember where it got there, and like, I was going down to ASD 2 ASDs ago, and I think it was Garrett. It's like, plan ahead, do your research, right? Plan. And I really did try. And then, I got in the door and realized, holy crap, I had no idea what I was doing. Trying to prepare for it. And that was one of those things too, is like one of these days where I'm just messing around, really kind of not even worrying about finding stuff. And it was with Keepa, and something just clicked.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, that's
how long into the business was it though? Until that happened? It was probably a while, right? Yeah.
Yeah. For me, and I'm slow like that. So I'll work hard, but sometimes I don't get it. It probably was at least 6 months. Right. Yeah. Well, I kind of got cut out there when the video lagged a little. Our journey, as we did grow in 22, kind of came to a quick halt. My father took ill in June-ish of 22. By July, I had to shut everything down. So our very first year in business, we only had a few months. Then I moved in, took care of my pops until he passed away in September. So we didn't really kick the business off truly until October of 22. And we jumped right back up pretty quick to like 30, 40K a month. And we moved out of the house into a warehouse, and we were in a warehouse all last year. So I do have some stuff over on my, I think it's on my IG, some questions or comments I'd like to bring in. And Brian, my buddy Brian, that's helping us do this. He goes, I think for people, the most frustrating part about the inconsistency of big decisions like that from Amazon, it makes you feel like anything could happen at any moment. Yeah, I get what he's saying, right? There's sometimes people are affected by that. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, because Amazon makes some big changes from time to time. And that is a tough thing, especially for full-time, I think, right? But a lot of people have figured it out, and they've gotten over that hump of that fear factor of what could happen tomorrow. I think you're an example of that. So it's
it's a lot lower stakes when you're young. Like anyone who's young who's watching this video, if you're not doing things that, if you're not taking risks that could put you back to zero, then you've kind of ruined the point of being young. If you can go back to zero at 25, and guess what? You're still ahead of a lot of people who are negative at 25. But like the older you get, the less risks you can take. So you're not using your age if you're young and you're not risking something.
Dude, that is a great point, right? I've never thought it from that avenue, because fortunately I'm in a situation where I can plug away at this little by little. I'm not looking to skyrocket tomorrow. I'm building I got a 4-year plan, not a 1-year plan. My plan to where I want to be in 4 years when I retire from my other job and get the kids through college. We got a lot of stuff on the plate, right? That's a great point. I never thought of it that way. But Brian says, I agree. You got to keep on trucking. So Paulo put out something over our buddy Paulo here. I got an email from Amazon today about an inquiry. I thought I was being deactivated. He doesn't go into much more detail, but right, we get those letters. That's a happy way to start your Sunday morning off, Paulo. I feel bad for you, brother, though. But
it's probably just it's probably just like a document request or something. He's probably fine.
Yeah. And he did add in, the business compounds faster than you want it to. And that is
sometimes that's true. Yeah.
Right. But I think it's kind of, we were talking about earlier, where you hit that point where it kind of oh, it makes sense. Once you start hitting those points, which I think start to happen faster as, we back on video? Might just cut
I can
out.
still hear you. You're good.
It starts to snowball. Yep. Okay. Good. It starts to, you can snowball, and if you're not careful, and I'm there. I mean, I've got, stuff popping up left and right, and I'm like, okay, let's buy that. No, that's $18,000. Let's all right, but that's today, and that's going to stop us from buying this later in the week.
Yeah.
Because that's 50,000 or 10,000 or whatever it is, and it's all relative, right? To a year ago, to me to spend $500 on an item was freaky. So, and it just
Right. Yeah.
like,
And then, you look a year down the line, like you've got a couple extra zeros on your POs and all that kind of stuff. And it is crazy. It's also, I just want to say, like, it's also like, I'm sure you feel this too, Joe, and maybe it's just the entrepreneur personality. Like, the more zeros you add, the more it just feels normal. And if you ever go back to where you were, it's like Sisyphusian in that, right? Like, if you got to keep pushing it up the hill, and the numbers have to keep getting bigger, or you feel like you're like failing, but it's like, no, this is what I wanted to build. And so I think there's a lot of people who are probably watching this they're like, man, I'm stuck at 20K, when 6 months ago they're like, man, it's my dream to do 20K. And so, like, I think it's really important, just in any business you're doing, like, and I'm guilty of this too. It's like, oh, the numbers aren't going up. It's like, no, like, this is what I dreamed about having. So, like, enjoy it, keep working, but also you don't have to like beat yourself up because you're not at like the insane goal you thought you were. You hit your actual goal, and then you're like upset about it for some reason.
100%, right? It is so relative to where you're at in that day. And I just did some numbers 2 days ago, and I'm looking at a ton of product in the warehouse that we haven't shipped out because of my real life, right? Taking care of, we got family stuff going on, we got other stuff. And one of the girls is out in the warehouse with me, and we're talking about the numbers, and we got a new cosmetic product that we're prepping. So I'm one of the fools that got a warehouse that does it all. Trust me, people, learn from me. Don't do it. Go to a prep center. But seriously though, we were talking about the cost of prepping those items when you're using, let's say, family, like my daughters, right, helping out, and how do you pay them effectively. Then taking hours to prep something now is the price of maybe something you only had a $3 profit because we bought 13,000 of these items, and we got to put them into 10 packs. We're gonna end up with 1,300 10 packs at the end of the day. And if fun though, it's and when you forget about the fun part of it, that sucks. So I'm looking at the numbers going, hey, our numbers are way down this month. Of course it is. It's January. We're down from December. And then I'm looking around all the product we have sitting there. So let's get what else we got. Billy. Armand, I wanted to catch you. Yeah, he says 7-figure granny is dope. Should bring her on. Absolutely. I sent her a message this morning, and we will. She's one of my friends, and would love to have her on. Just a great person and wealth of knowledge. So yes, stay tuned. Please come back on following Sundays because she'll be here. Hopefully.
Nice. Joe's gonna get some guests popping in and out too. I think his dream is like a call-in show almost. So if you're
that's what I want, bro. That's exactly. Yeah, I want you guys hit me up on Instagram or in the here. We're gonna be if you want to join us, it's not as easy as I thought it would be to just invite people on the fly. It's not like an Instagram direct live where you can just invite folks through here. So I'm learning. Next Sunday, I'd like to have 2 or 3 people in here talking and just chatting about the week, chatting about your issues, just to, new friends and soon to be friends and old friends. Just get in here. We're going to make it a little better every week. I promise to put forth some effort and improve. Doesn't, like I said in the beginning, I don't care about gold bars, don't care about race cars, don't care about the scars, right? Just come on in and be yourself, and let's talk about what's bothering you or what's exciting with you. Paulo did kick back. The letter ended up being fine, but it was scary when you woke up and read it. And
it's always anytime you get a letter from Amazon, it's like, all right, this is either like pointless, and it's like, all right, I made a sale, or it's all right, this is my next week of my life. I'm submitting documents now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you've got to go soon. You got mom and dad flying down, right? So
Yeah, I think I just saw the
I'm going to say
plane fly
I'll grab
across the
some
window,
comps.
honestly.
Hey, you're looking good down there. Wait, what are you drinking now? Did you buy that for me?
No, it was a
What were you
return.
just
It was
sipping
a
on?
return. It's a Stanley. It's a Stanley.
It's
It
a
was
Stanley return.
they
Yeah,
like there's like a small
I
dent and
just
they took the label off, so I couldn't sell it anymore. So it's my cup now.
I do want to get to some of the comments, but I want to say something. I want to ask people, and I'm going to start posting this on social media. I want to post and share the craziest return or exchange or complaint feedbacks you've gotten from customers. So I want to feature some really crazy stuff that I'm in a couple different Discords where we all hang out, right? And some of the stuff that we share that we, cut and paste right from the customer's feedback or the return. And some of this stuff is just so funny. We're not going to put people's names. I don't want names. I don't want any, customer info, but just what they said. And we're going to do this for next Sunday. I'm going to have a couple put together. I want people to come into the chat and I want you to cut and paste some of the funniest off the wall, and I think it was Tracy Severinger that had one that the customer wanted to know what to do about a return on some chocolates that she bought, the customer bought, because they showed up melted. Yeah. But her grandson ate them all, so she can't send them back. But how is she going to get her money?
What?
Right? So that, yeah, right. So I want to hear that. I want to hear from people.
Hey, I ate them all. How do I return them? I'm going to
grab Billy Rayl. I think, right. My grandson ate them all. How do I return them? They were no guy, just laughing. So Billy says, I think it's better for newcomers to see someone making an extra $500 a month than $15 a month. So 500 seems realistic. That gets them in the door. Yeah, exactly. Right. It's you chunk away with whatever your level is. For me, it was, and I actually talked about it on Warner when Warner interviewed me a while ago. It was light bulbs. It was literally light bulbs, and the light bulb went off. We and simple products, and started making some money off those little by little. It was $100 here, $100 there, but that sucked me in too. So I still joke, and I know we were talking. I said it the other night. I need therapy for RA. So
no, it's because it's there's some pretty outlandish statements you can say that are actually true. Like when we're making videos and stuff, sometimes it's like I'm like laughing at the fact that because I can say like we did like 200K and I worked like 30 minutes a day, and the average person hears that, it's like, no, that's a scam. Like you can't say that. Like people immediately skip past because it's like unbelievable. But if you say like you can make $500 go into a thrift store, or like they're like, how, really? It like there's some like believability about it. It is funny how like you like until you're in the space, you truly don't believe the things that you can actually accomplish with some hard work and all that, obviously. But like there's a lot of that's funny.
And every time you say that, I just want to knock you over. Like just walk up, just push you. Like, yeah, I just did. It took me 30 minutes today, right? And because I'm envious, right? Not because I'm mad at you. I just envious.
Because you got a warehouse, Joe. That's the mistake there.
Yeah. Exactly. There's nothing I can say to defend the warehouse. Someone was doing a live the other night and started breaking down the cost on the warehouse. And I was listening to them talk. Maybe it was Corey even. I think it was Corey. And he's talking about the cost of a warehouse. And then you've got and then you have to have a dumpster for cardboard. Then you have to have Wi-Fi. Then you have to have. So it adds up. I have a bigger mission ahead, so that's one of the reasons I'm doing that. It got it out of our house, and I am in the process of bringing on a prep center for some stuff, probably an East Coast prep center right away. That's nice. In the works right now.
Yep.
So, Billy wants to know, how do you put labels on things?
He's joking.
You peel them off the paper and you stick them on. I know. I'm just messing with it.
Okay.
Again, a nice shout out to you from Warner, rocking the Richmond.
Am I? It's just a polo. Like, I'll take it though.
It's just a polo, right? Youth is the best advantage. Yeah, thanks. Oh wait, when do you join us? I sent you a link. Billy, what's he got down here now? Don't forget where you started, Kevin.
Return
right
stories. There. Yeah. No. On the returns thing, I'm sure we've all had a couple buyer messages where it's like, hey, your price is too high, or like your price is too low, like raise your price. But one time I had a different seller message me on some like protein bars or something we were selling. He's like, your price on the Quest protein bars is way too low. You're like, and they start swearing and like you're an idiot, like. And that was where the buy box belonged at too. It wasn't even like he was like, raise your price to 42. I was like, it literally, the buy box has been $40 always. What are you talking about? Dude was hallucinating the buy box and just like spamming people.
That's funny. I just got a weird one the other day in the messengers. Well, I'm sure people have seen it, but I laughed at this gentleman talking up the game, trying to sell me wholesale products through Amazon's Messenger. And I mean, laughing my ass off at it.
It's like it's the new Telegram.
The rules, right? But
you know, who needs Telegram when you can just message Amazon sellers?
Yeah. You need a Telegram, right? Yeah. You know, I heard some people there asking, like, because there's such a bad rap out there for Telegram, rightfully so.
Yeah.
But someone was also saying the same thing about WhatsApp. Now, WhatsApp's okay, guys. It's not horrible. I deal with 2 distributors that love doing WhatsApp. I even have a supplier for shipping products. They love doing business on WhatsApp lately. So I wouldn't be scared of WhatsApp, but I would definitely validate.
Yeah, there's definitely legit business guys on WhatsApp, but be careful. Telegram, I have yet to see anyone.
Yes. validate, right? If you don't know who it is, that's where I'd have the problem.
Yeah.
But we do a lot of business on WhatsApp. So Billy, I went full time. Here we go, right? This is what we're talking about. 36, 3-year-old sole custody. That's amazing, man. So first of all, that's props to you. Worst case, I think we just cut out for a second. I think worst case scenario is I'd move in with my mom and I'll get back on my feet. Yeah, right? That's awesome, right? Just put in the hard work and take the bumps when they come and try. Yeah, that's awesome. Congrats. Billy. We got someone just asking an ungating question in here. Jenny. Just keep trying.
Jenny, I made a recent video.
There was definitely
Jenny, I made a recent video. We got a delay for sure. Jenny, I made a recent video you can go watch. It breaks that all down for you. Just buy from Nike.
Yeah, and I think there was a point. I think a lot of people saw a backlog of, during Q4 it got a little frustrating with ungating. I would say in the last 3-4 weeks, I've definitely seen it go back to the way it was before Q4. Q4 seemed to have like a funk about it this year with getting ungated on certain things, but it's been, I've had
I mean, they always tighten down different rules and they make up a new fee, or like they always make it slightly harder every Q4, and the market adjusts. So like anytime you guys see all these new fees and that kind of stuff, like the prices have always risen with it and the customer ends up paying for it. So it's not going to kill your business.
Yeah, and they just do, like, sometimes common sense cannot come into play when dealing with seller support. It just can't. I mean, I've been dealing on a brand direct product that we have for a 6-pack. It's coming up as a 5885 error, right? The generic listing errors that started back in November. It's not a generic. The listing's not generic. I've had 3 of these that get cleared up within 48 hours. This last one's got 100 units sitting stranded now for 3 weeks. And I have spent an hour with seller support yesterday. Great. I've been getting some excellent people on seller support. Yeah. Don't worry. We're going to take care of you. We're going to fix this. And I'm sure I'm waiting for the email to come through. Hey, and I'll have to recall the inventory and figure something else out. And we'll jump through it. But so we got one here. Let's take a look at this one for you. So Field's got a question for you.
You want to ship his first product?
Amazon for fulfillment. Located in Canada.
You make sure it goes to the US. If you're located in Canada, you need to have like multi-channel fulfillment on if you're trying to send it to the US. Otherwise, you will you'll just ship it to a prep center or something like that in the US, and then they'll ship it to a US fulfillment center for you. And then you should be good to go.
Depending on where in Canada, if it's good, tell me. I'll come up and get it for you and bring it down.
I bet you will.
I'm not far, depending on where, right? Yeah, Bill, get those. So, Bill, if you want to post us a return comment today, and then I want to work on this throughout the week and have. I think it'd be fun, and I know we're all going to deal with some crap through the week with this business, so we can address those next weekend. But I think it'd be fun to have some of these great stories about returns or customer feedback stuff that just makes you shake your head.
Awesome.
What else we got here? Hey, how you doing on time, buddy? It's 11:40.
Yeah, we can probably wrap up here.
Yeah. So, I'm going to keep going till noon. I'm going to try to keep. Okay. I'm going to keep going till noon, and try to just, if anybody wants to stand with me or wants to jump back in from your side to our side, love to have you. But we'll see who hangs around, and we're going to.
The stream will stay up on my pages when I leave, though. So
okay.
Don't start going crazy here, Joe, and I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, no, brother. Thank you so much, and guys, gals, right? Most of you know this dude, but he's a genuine, just good person, and
just doing my best.
I by no means, when we were talking the other day, I wasn't expecting you or even asking you to come out. We were talking about something else, and you're like, "No, I'm going to be there," and I can't thank you enough. I can't. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Y'all go check out Joe's show. Follow him on Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. And then I'll see you guys soon. Yeah. Good to see you, Joe. Have a good one, man.
Have fun with mom and dad.
For sure. Bye. See you.
All right. So whoever sticks on with just me, I really appreciate it. I'm going to do my best to get through these questions. We're going to give it till about noon Eastern Standard Time. So another 15 minutes. And if there's anybody that does want to join, the whole goal behind this show is I just want to have a group of people that want to get in and just talk and chat. So you're all invited. Everybody in this group can just send me a message. We'll figure out how it works. I'm still learning this system and how it goes. So I've got some stuff over on Instagram, on my Instagram. I want to take a read at. Melinda wants to know, where's the coffee? Can I have a cup of Joe? Right. Yeah. Actually, I was in a rush to get this going when my right-hand man and my good buddy Brian let me know this morning he was sick. So I was hoping he'd be on here with us. And but Melinda, you're welcome to join. I sent you a link. Brian, my wife is the talk of the town with her bright Stanley return every time she heads into work. Yeah, we've all got those Stanleys. But yeah, that was awesome of Warner. What else we got for questions over here? Conversations. What do we got in here? Yeah, bookmark this recording for the labels. Okay. Yeah, don't. Yeah, right. That's good. That was good knowledge right there. What do we got here? Let's read this. I've got a great product I get from a wholesaler, but I want to find similar items. It's the best way to reverse sourcing. Well, sure. I mean, I'd start with the wholesaler. What else do they have? If they've got that item, I've heard it, right? I think it's a Garrett Garrell saying, but right, good products surround themselves with other good products. Maybe start right there, or find out who their competition is. If the product you love is from them, most good products have competition. So look at competing wholesalers and see what they have that would be the competitive product. I don't know, just one idea. Feel free to throw some comments in the chat if others have thoughts on that. And what do we have here? Oh, Jenny, totally agree with the Q4 thing, right? Yeah, it was a weird time for where they just kind of started not ungating as easily, but it definitely seems like it's gotten back to the way it was. All right, so Warner pops off. No more questions. Come on. But who else still in here? And really appreciate everybody. And I think we're going to have someone else probably join. Hopefully, sounds good. Getting a situation about log into the link. So hopefully we're going to have our buddy joining us here in a few minutes, and maybe for the last 10 minutes. But next week, we will definitely have a couple more folks in. And Melinda, I see you on the other side, but you should have joined. I do. Well, I don't have it. My buddy Brian, who is here with us in spirit and behind the scenes today, he's not on the call because he's sick. He actually started a great Discord that very, very knowledgeable people in there and a lot of fun too. We have different nights where we focus on different things. Shoot myself or FBA Brian a message and we'll get you more info on that. And then I'm involved in other people's. There he is. Let's see. Hey, man.
What's up, Joe?
Dude, buddy, good to see you. Thanks for joining. I was really hoping you'd jump in with the kiddos. That would have been a lot of fun.
Dude, they're wild. I don't think that the stream can handle them. They're pretty bonkers, man.
Yeah, come on. That's all right. That's what makes it all worthwhile, right? All the work you're doing is for them. And
yeah, no, they're
awesome.
good kids. They're just they just wake up and they're like, go, right? I'm like, be careful, don't be banging on the door. So they know.
Yeah, absolutely. I get it. Been there. Now we're at the age of 17 with the twins. So it's a whole different level of ready and go. So enjoy that time for sure.
Yeah, they're
yeah, thanks, Warner.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I said I got 2 boys, 5 and 7, and then a little girl who just turned 1. So it's a pretty busy house, man.
Yeah. That's crazy, and that's what Paulo sells. If anybody doesn't follow him, make sure you do it. He's dealing with this morning. I know too. He's got a real little one, so definitely got his hands full too. And that's those days when they were here were frustrating and tough. And but now that those days are gone, I'm like, man, if we could do anything to go back to that younger age. And so what's going on with you, man? How's business?
Business is kind of slow. I've been kind of dealing with some health issues. That kind of, the more I kind of go into Amazon, it's extra for me, meaning like I have a 9 to 5, plus I have the family. So it's really carving out the time for this. So that extra time that I have to put into here, I'll start to get a little sick. So I'm trying to dial it back, but also be in it, because if you let it sit, then it just piles up as well. But I kind of towards I made the account October, and then I got thrown into Q4. Everything, like I had to absorb the material, I had to figure out how to FBM, I had to figure out FBA shipments too. I had to do all that. So it was a lot, but I realized that I wasn't keeping track of all the stuff in the back, like all the back end stuff, accounting. What am I really making? Not just, okay, this SellerAmp is telling me this is the profit. It was like, oh, okay, well, actually I had to get all this bubble wrap, or I went through 2 boxes because I tore a side of it or something like that, right? So getting all the books together and realizing that it wasn't as much as I thought. Like I didn't get down to a good number, but I know that it's a little bit negative than when I started. Nothing major though. The profit that I did get from some of the items ended up balancing it out. So it's not like I'm major in the hole or anything, but dude, it's not as easy as people will think, that it's just like, you just go in and you're just going to make all this money. Like it is a real business, and you have to look at all angles, or if you let one part of it lack, it could be your downfall. So it's me catching up with that stuff right now before just kind of putting more products into the store. So
man, you said some things there that just the stuff we don't talk about, bubble wrap. And right. So if you're not careful, bubble wrap, depending on how you're buying it, this is just a great example. Especially, it could be upwards of 25 cents a foot, right? So if you're dealing with some, let's say, just an example, let's talk this out and jump in on the chat, folks. But if you've got an item that you're going to package up, and let's just say you're making a $4 profit on it, and you're wrapping it real good because you want it to get there, not broken. You're doing those. Next thing you know, you've put 4 foot of bubble wrap on it. Well, now your $4 profit's gone down to a $1 profit, just in the bubble wrap, right? And that's those are the things you great points, because it just doesn't. I don't know how many people right from the beginning. I'd love to know how, or talk to someone that from day one had it so organized that they had their accounting straight, that had their buy cost on shipping supplies right. I don't, I think we all, or the major majority of us, just we're winging it in the beginning, right? And then all of a sudden we're 7 months into it and go, holy crap, I spent how much on bubble wrap just running over to Staples and grabbing it, or Walmart or Lowe's or wherever, right? That type of stuff adds up quickly. I am very conscious now because we did a lot of FBM over the holidays, but we try to do mostly FBA, or now sending stuff in direct if we can. But I work hard on my box cost, and I've gotten it down really good. But I became conscious of it finally, but I wasn't for a while. It was, and it wasn't the big boxes, right? I'm not talking the FBA boxes. It was the FBM boxes. So if we were ripping Stanleys 2 years ago, I individually box every Stanley. Some people are wrapping them in bubble wrap, throwing them in bags, right? It's just a difference of how you want to do the business. But yeah, and maybe there's comfort in that, right, for yourself, that you don't have, this doesn't have to succeed, right? Because you have your 9 to 5. But of course, you start putting in, you start putting in the effort. You want to see reward for your effort. I still don't take $1 out of the business for personal. I just don't yet. That's changing this year. And it's, now that being said, I pay my kids when they do prep work, right? They're helping out. I have another daughter that does FBM orders, and so we're paying, that money's going out. So it's just not coming to me, but it is, right? It's coming to the family. And if you don't know about, there's different tax benefits to bringing your own children in. Unfortunately, we don't do payroll, so that doesn't help us this last year, but it will going forward. Yeah, and trying to balance it, it is tough. And I say our balance got real bad through Q4. The balance, there was no balance. It was just everything was everywhere. Like we were doing, 100, 200, 250 orders a day on almost every day. And it was just insane. So, but yeah, thanks for coming on. And this is what it's all about, right? And I'm hoping you come back and we get others back. And I think we got a couple questions over here. I'm going to try to see. Jenny, let's see what it is here. So moral of the story, calculated profit should be greater than 30%. Well, yeah, I don't know if you're an ROI or a margin person, right? It depends on what you like to work off of. But definitely you got to be conscious of what you're spending. And again, what's your goal too, right? My goal isn't to blow this up day one. It's I'm in for the long game. I retire from my 9 to 5 in 4 years, 5 months, 22 days. But
yeah, no one's
my
counting.
goal is no, I joke. I love my my full-time job, but I'm looking forward to the retirement and taking this to that next level. So my goal right now is to get to a certain level and kind of become more efficient once we get to that level. And we're close actually right now. We're getting there. And then I just want to maintain and fine tune for once I do have the free time when I retire, and then we can take this to the next. Both kids are going off to college this year, so don't have that help anymore. We're gonna have to change some things up later in the year. So we're gonna try to get through all that, get it settled, and see what we can do. But I the day it stops being fun, I'm done then. But I still enjoy it. I do. There's those days. There's days I've walked into the warehouse and go, what am I doing? I don't need this. Brian, my buddy Brian that's on here that helped us put this whole thing together, he's talked me off the ledge once or twice. And I think hopefully I've talked him off the ledge once or twice on that stuff, right? It's like, that's kind of what makes it what it is. Yeah. Any other questions or anybody else want to give some input? Good morning, Mark. How are you? Mark saying good morning to us. Good morning, East Coast time.
Good morning.
We're going to play this out for the next couple of weeks. We're coming up within an hour here. It'll be about 5 more minutes. So I just want to go over some goals and aspirations. Yeah. Oh, hey, great comment here. Never even thought about Facebook Marketplace for stuff. But yeah. Now, Joe, are you talking stuff that people are selling off that they don't want anymore? Or are you talking about buying from sponsored sellers on Marketplace? Be interested to hear, because I'm thinking like people that are going out of business, stuff like that. Thanks, Noble. That would be great. I just bought, kind of going back to that comment, today I was supposed to go pick up 3,500 boxes, and it was from Facebook Marketplace. Now that you mention it, because who doesn't scroll on Facebook Marketplace when you're bored, right? They company changed their business plan, or going out of business, whatever they're doing, but they had over 3,500 cardboard boxes, all brand new. So I'm supposed to make arrangements to get a truck and have it over to their place today to pick those up. 3,500 boxes. We're going to be paying just under 50 cents a box on average. So they're smalls to larges. So, but yeah, great point.
Oh, nice variety in there.
Yeah, it's all mixed up. And you know what? They don't go stale. I figured for the price, we'll buy them. Yeah. We've got room in the warehouse. We'll throw them back there. But Joe, thank you for that. That's a great one. I just linked up with a new supplier for shipping supplies, and I'm not here to promote that type of stuff yet. Maybe down the road we will, and I'll talk to him. But I've shared him now with 3 or 4 friends across the country, and it looks like most people are putting orders in. So pricing has been great. So if you're into shipping supplies and you have your own warehouse, or you need you're not buying 20 or 30. You're going to buy a pallet from him or so at a time. Shoot me a message. We'll link you up, and maybe someday. I really want to keep the podcast. It's not a sales pitch, or whatever this is, right? Our talk show, our hangout, whatever we're going to call this. I don't want it to be a sales pitch by no means. We're not going to be sponsored. I don't want to say we're not going to sponsor stuff, because there will be a link, and I think Brian added it. There's going to be a list of tools that I use personally, or Brian uses, that we trust and know. Those links will be in our bio or in the channel. If you want to go check it out, great. But we're not going to come on here and try to sell stuff. That's not the plan. I don't have a course. I don't plan on doing a course anytime soon. I can hardly take care of myself. My goal is to just get some friends, get some people that aren't friends yet in here, and we start collaborating, and maybe the network builds even stronger outside of this few minutes on a Sunday morning. And maybe down the road we'd start a happy hour one on Fridays. I don't know. But we're coming up on the hour. Dude, thanks so much for coming on in. Any last minute questions, we'll try to grab them. No. Stay. And everybody that gave such great feedback or input, Bill and Jenny and everybody, thank you so much for this. And I really appreciate Warner for pushing me to get it started today. And jumping on. You guys all have a fantastic Sunday, what's left in your day. And I hope to see you here next Sunday. We're going to have some other folks jumping in, hopefully, and it should be a good time. And I'll have a cup of coffee with me next time. Thank you so much.
Take care, everyone.
Let's see how I know. I got to learn how to end it now. See you, bye.